अनुभव है इंडस्ट्री के साथ और मुझे विश्वास है आपके नेतृत्व में बीएसई भी बहुत आगे जाएगा, प्रगति करेगा। श्री नीरज कुल श्रेष्ठ, चीफ रेगुलेटरी ऑफिसर बीएसई, श्री गिरीश जोशी, चीफ ट्रेडिंग ऑपरेशंस एंड लिस्टिंग सेल्स बीएसई, श्री अजय ठाकुर, हेड बीएसई एसएमई एंड स्टार्टअप्स। आज के सभा में उपस्थित जो 8 कंपनियों को लिस्ट किया गया, उन सबके प्रमोटर्स और उपस्थित सभी महानुभाव मीडिया के मित्रों, सबसे पहले तो मैं 8 कंपनी जो एक साथ लिस्ट हो रही है, जो अपने आप में शायद एक नया कीर्तिमान होगा कि एक साथ 8 कंपनियां लिस्ट हो रही है, उन सबको तहे दिल से बधाई देना चाहूंगा और शुभकामनाएं दूंगा कि उनका बिजनेस भी अच्छा बढ़े और वैल्यूएशन भी अच्छी बढ़ती ही रहे, काम अच्छा चले, उसके लिए बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं। ये महीना अभी तक तो स्टॉक मार्केट बाय एंड लार्ज ठीक रही है, फेस्टिवल सीजन भी अच्छा शुरू हुआ है। दुनिया भर में काफी अनिश्चितता के बावजूद भारत में मैं समझता हूँ जिस प्रकार का कॉन्फिडेंस है पूरे सिस्टम में, आप सब में, और जो सरकार और इंडस्ट्री के बीच में एक लगातार डायलॉग चलता है, एक लगातार समन्वय बना हुआ है, जिसके कारण लगभग प्रोएक्टिवली जो भी समस्याएं आती हैं, जो भी सिचुएशंस बनती हैं, उसमें ऐसी कोई परिस्थिति नहीं आने दी गई है जिसमें कोई बहुत बड़े स्केल पे इंडस्ट्री या बिजनेस को घाटा हो। कोविड की महामारी के समय जरूर हम सबको कुछ दिक्कतें आई, कुछ कंपनियों को लॉकडाउन में तकलीफ हुई, डिमांड कॉन्ट्रैक्शन हुआ था, लेकिन एसएमई सेक्टर के लिए जो इमरजेंसी क्रेडिट लोन्स की स्कीम हो या ट्रेड्स प्लेटफॉर्म पे जो बढ़त हुई है, अलग अलग तरीके से कोशिश की गई कि भी ensure the orderly revival of Indian industry, and undoubtedly industry has reciprocated by showing tremendous resilience and has come back to speed extremely fast, extremely well. In fact, I keep engaging with a number of industry players, and my own experience is that by and large we have been able to overcome the COVID pandemic and reasonably handle the current geopolitical situation, particularly the conflict between Ukraine and Russia, has not deterred the confidence, the spirit that Indian industry has and continues to demonstrate regularly. Very delighted to hear about all the achievements of the SME exchange. Indeed, 400 companies is a milestone. But let me share with you a conversation only of yesterday, last evening. A very large international fund was discussing with me why we do not have an SME type of structure or platform, and they would like to set up a similar platform in their country. And when I told him that I'm coming today morning to actually list 8 companies simultaneously and we have a vibrant ecosystem on SMEs, he was indeed quite taken aback. And for me, the lesson in that was that we need to be more proactive and take the message. I know you've done a lot of seminars. I believe you've done over 20,000 seminars across the country to appraise people about the exchange, about the activities of the exchange. But it may be a good idea if we can get all the international investors, the international funds, also to get to know a little bit about this exchange. Probably what we could do as Commerce Ministry to support the efforts of this exchange is that whenever we are either in India having an exchange with or meetings with these funds, or even when we take delegations abroad, or CII, FIIs take delegations abroad, you may like to send either some representative from the exchange or maybe some of the companies who are already listed on the exchange, who may have raised some capital on the exchange, who may have done well on the exchange, to be a part of such delegations and talk to international investors and encourage them to look at this exchange also as a very attractive means of investment. So that could be one way we could actually get this ecosystem known across the world and try and get some FIIs to participate on this exchange, some sovereign wealth funds to come in and participate on this exchange, and collectively with Indian investors, we could possibly look at a faster growth, a faster ramp up, and getting significant and more true values for the companies who are operating on the exchange. Some of the liberalization you've done on regulatory compliance burden, some of the effort to protect valuations for the first 3 years with the market making by the merchant bankers who are issuers of these stocks are indeed quite good steps which will give comfort to investors also. But I do believe that Mumbai, which many of us call the city of dreams, city which never sleeps, city which is live fire all the time, very appropriately is the place from where we hope that the SME sector will get new wings, will get new opportunities to grow, raise more capital and become truly an international center which can provide a very large number of SMEs who are doing quite well an opportunity to grow faster, ramp up their operations faster. Possibly you could also look at some kind of platform at the GIFT City, the International Financial Services Center, and see whether we could encourage some companies who otherwise are looking at listing overseas to look at listing through the GIFT City platform or dual listing between Mumbai and the GIFT City, which will give probably faster time to invite more and more international capital, some of whom are already setting up or are in the process of setting up operations in the GIFT City. We have several digital initiatives like UPI, like now we're launching the ONDC. All of these have helped democratize and provide opportunity to the smaller companies or medium sector companies in the fintech space, in the hopefully going forward in the e-commerce space. I believe some of them also may be low-hanging fruits for your exchange to attract. For example, today we have over 100 unicorns. We have many unicorns who are on their way to on the growth trajectory. Maybe a good 70 or 80 of them I think today are unicorns. Maybe a good idea if you could interact with them. Our startup department in the Ministry of Industry will be very happy to help forge these partnerships between the SME exchange and the unicorns. Possibly the unicorns would be low-hanging fruits because they are looking to become unicorns, they are looking to raise capital. And maybe a good idea to create some kind of an interface between the startup ecosystem and the BSE platform, which will be good for both. Help them grow faster, help you get a larger share of companies on the growth track, and the best part would be that that would also encourage domestic capital into the startup ecosystem. Unfortunately, I've been appealing on many occasions that Indian investors are not looking towards the startup ecosystem in as big a number as we should. We have a very large number of domestic investors who are active on the stock exchanges, the BSE and NSE. In fact, I must compliment the Indian domestic investors, the mutual funds, even the retail investors who have actually come of age, who have demonstrated that irrespective of what happens in the world or irrespective of what foreign investors may believe in the India story or may not have the wherewithal to stay invested in India, the Indian investors are able to hold the Indian market strong. And I think that's a matter of pride for all of you. It's something that has demonstrated to the world that the equity culture is now getting into the country in a much bigger way. We have a large pool of investors, a large pool of capital being invested in the stock exchange, and that's good news. It has, I don't know who had said it, but I recall somebody saying that market में सबसे बड़ा risk market में नहीं रहने का, risk नहीं लेने का. And I think in some sense अब भारत के लोग तैयार हो गए, थोड़ा रिस्क लेने की भी क्षमता बढ़ी है. जैसे जैसे अर्थव्यवस्था बढ़ रही है, जैसे जैसे प्रॉस्पेरिटी आ रही है लोगों में, वैसे वैसे मैं समझता हूँ रिस्क लेने की भी कैपेसिटी भारत की बढ़ रही है. और रिस्क में से प्रॉफिट भी आता है. और मुझे लगता है भारत के स्टॉक एक्सचेंजेस ने तो ओवर long period of time अगर हम देखें, they have given good returns to stable investors, to consistent investors. So I'm quite sure that going forward, even this SME platform has huge potential. We need to market it better. We need to get some more domestic players interested in this exchange, and along with that also sensitize international players, particularly FIIs or wealth funds, or pension funds or insurance funds, to also see and grab the opportunity that the SME platform offers. India's story in Amrit Kal, the next 25 years, as we move towards becoming a developed nation, a prosperous nation, is something which the world is observing, the world is studying, the world is quite excited about. My own experience across my interactions with trade ministers or economy ministers around the world is very, very bullish, if I may borrow a phrase from your market. They have more confidence in the India story than I suspect sometimes we have. They are looking at India with much more confidence, much more hope, much more commitment to the India story that I see sometimes reflected in individual private conversations. But my own belief is that even on a business as usual case, even if you and I were not to put in too much effort, we are not going to be less than a $32 trillion economy when we become 100 years of independence, when we celebrate. Currently, the market cap of all the companies, I believe, is very close to the GDP number. So one can imagine the market cap in 2047. And given the huge effort being made by all of you, investors, industry, government, regulators, all working together to try and give speed to our growth plans, to create the enabling environment so that India grows faster. And in enabling environment, there's so many things happening. It's a holistic trust, whether it's greater engagement with technology, whether it's reducing the compliance burden, whether it's decriminalization of several laws to make it less intimidating to do business in India and easier to do business, whether it's promoting innovation, research, development, new ideas, the startup story, whether it is our effort to improve the logistics across the country. The Honorable Prime Minister recently launched the National Logistics Policy, and we are focused in our efforts to become more competitive in logistics costs, whether it's the greater degree of engagement with developed countries to have free trade agreements. I can just keep going on and on. It's a whole of the government approach, working with industry in the true spirit of partnership to promote economic growth and take prosperity to the last man at the bottom of the pyramid. And it is this holistic, comprehensive thinking led by the Honorable Prime Minister with his own personal ideas, initiatives, his own commitment to make India a developed nation. I have no doubt in my mind, ladies and gentlemen, that going forward, India will drive world growth. India will be the beacon behind which the world will follow. And all of you, and I see so many young boys and girls in this room, so many young people are going to live through this journey in the Amrit Kaal. You're going to enjoy the fruits of this journey. You are going to be the people who will hold the command of the India growth story in the next 25 years. And I am confident, given the huge talent pool that we have, given the skill sets that each one of you brings to the table, that we have a very, very bright future ahead of us. And I'm glad that the markets have that confidence. The markets have shown tremendous resilience, particularly in the challenging times that the world is going through. The market has shown a lot of confidence in the India growth story, and clearly they can visualize the future where over 1 billion people, an aspirational billion as I often call them, are driving growth, are driving new opportunities. Nowhere else in the world do we have an opportunity of the size and scale that India can offer today. I'm sure the exchange, the SME exchange, will be a part of this growth journey, will be a part of the prosperity that we hope to bring to India, and will also bring prosperity both to the companies who are listed here and to the market participants who trade on this exchange. I can only make a few small suggestions as we grow the economy, as we grow this platform. SMEs, of course, we are all aware, are a very, very important part of the Indian economy, the Indian growth story. I think some more collaborations, as I indicated earlier, between various banks, various international funds, market players, and encouraging people to participate and grow with these SMEs. There's a lot more data flow about how these companies are progressing. I'm told 150 odd of number of these companies have also moved on to the main platform. So we have 150 who are trading on both the main BSE platform and the SME platform, which is a very good sign. It shows that these companies are growing, these companies are progressing. And therefore, I believe more collaboration also with government agencies like the Startup India movement or with international funds and large Indian investment funds or mutual funds or insurance companies will give speed to the growth of this exchange. I'm sure, as you mentioned, you have reduced compliance burden, but I would suggest you should continuously be looking at how we can make it easier, particularly for the small and medium companies, to have a very low compliance burden to follow. Capacity building with financial advisory services for these 400 companies could be another hand-holding support that BSE could consider giving. How we can help these 400 companies grow faster, help them in presenting their growth story, presenting their financials smarter, we could also become a springboard for these companies, as we have already moved 150 companies to the main main BSE exchange. That needs to be propagated a lot more so that companies could come in here, get listed, get a kind of dip into the water before they swim in the main exchange. And lastly, I think some more technology enablers or technology involvement for these 400 companies could be a service that BSE could offer, which will integrate them with most modern technologies, and that could be also an excitement for companies to come and list here beyond just raising capital. The fact that this could help them get ideas, get handholding support, advisory services, technology services, these could add luster to the SME exchange. But truly, it's time to up the ante, it's time to take this whole story fast forward in mission mode. Whatever we can do from the government, I assure you, we'll be absolutely ready and willing. I have a very deep personal connect with the BSE Stock Exchange, more so because one of the persons who was your chairman or your illustrious predecessor, Mr. Madan Gopal Damani, was somebody I looked up to as a child, as an entrepreneur in my early days when I just got into business, got into my professional activities. And he was always a source of inspiration, somebody who believed in big things, somebody who was always confident about India, somebody who had the confidence in all the BSE brokers. He started the BSE Brokers Forum or led it for several years. And I do believe that leaders who have come out of the BSE Stock Exchange have powered the idea of investing over so many years, and your own initiative of the SME Exchange will help power the SME growth story in the years ahead. My best wishes to you and to all of you going forward. Thank you.
मैं सभी की तरफ से श्री गोयल जी का और श्री बोरा जी का धन्यवाद करती हूँ कि उन्होंने अपना बहुमूल्य वक्त हमारे लिए निकाला और हमसे कुछ शब्द कहे. Now, to commemorate this happy occasion, I request Shri S.S. Mundra, Chairman BSE, to felicitate the chief guest. I request Shri Piyush Goyal to please accept this token of gratitude and respect.
Still down, still niche, still.
I now invite our guest of honor, Shri Ram Charan Bora, to please come and accept this token and honor us as Shri S.S. Mundra presents it. Ms. Shri S.S. Mundra to now present the token of our respect. Shri Ram Charan Bora, kindly accept it. Now I invite Shri Neeraj Kulshrestha, Chief Regulatory Officer, BSE Limited, to please come and present the vote of thanks speech. Shri Neeraj Kulshrestha.
So what a fantastic event. So first of all, I would like to thank Shri Piyush Goyal ji, Honorable Minister of Commerce, Industry, Consumer Affairs and Public Distribution and Food and Textiles. Sir, thank you very much for gracing this event and your inspiring speech, sir. We are overwhelmed points in the PM's vision. Your suggestions, sir, with respect to our collaboration with international funds and also participating in international events with industry bodies like FIIs and CIIs, we will certainly take forward. We assure you that we will work, because we already have a startup sector. We will work with the ministry to work with startups and in particular Sumicon to ensure that if there is a way, they can get listed on our, it would be a great occasion for us. Sir, you mentioned about India's story of Amrit Kal, which excites the world. It does excite all of us also, sir. And we once again thank you for your inspiring words. I would also like to thank Sri Ram Charan Bora ji for his encouragement. He has come all the way because one of the companies from his constituency is getting listed today. So, sir, this kind of encouragement is tremendous. So, many thanks for that. I would like to thank our chairman, Sri S.S. Mundra ji, who detailed the SME journey of BSE, and it's by no means, no small means that BSE today is the largest SME exchange in India. I would also like to thank my colleagues on the dais, Mr. Girish Joshi and Mr. Ajay Thakur, and all the dignitaries who are attending today. I would like to thank the BSE family of all the SME companies who have taken time to attend this event today, and the 8 new listed companies. So, Honorable Minister has just some time back requested to meet those 8 companies for 10 to 15 minutes separately. So, he will be providing time. So, it's a great event for all of us. I would also like to thank all the market bankers, investors, members of the media, and lastly but not least, the BSE family, our BSE team, SME team, who have taken time and who have made this event a success. So thank you all once again for attending and being so patient.
Thank you, sir. I invite all the promoters of the 8 companies that are listed today and the motion backers to please come on stage for picture, production, guest and guest of honor.
जाइए फुटेज बना लीजिए
इधर से आ जाना जा
ज़्यादा गलत समय पे देखिए
मोबाइल
हाँ अच्छा
फिर आ जाओ